All right, and we are live. How's it going, everybody out there? My name is Todd with AV Nirvana, and I've got here Sonny with AV Nirvana. How's it going, Sonny?
It's going, man. It's going.
Still going.
Yeah.
All set for what's that?
Doing a lot of headphone listening and in-ear monitor listening and doing some testing and reviewing and stuff. So having fun listening to music. You know, the retired life just makes you do all that stuff all day long.
Yeah, that's a good way to spend the retired life, I should say. Yeah. We have a pretty exciting show going on today. Last week we had Trenov on. This week, StormAudio plus friends. I'm super pumped about this one.
Looks like Doug might have made it to the show too, huh?
Yep. Yeah, it looks like Doug has made it. We'll have him on soon. Sonny, because we're talking about CEDIA today, it's really important for us to bring up the contest one more time that Brett Bjorkquist over at Factnatics is hosting. He's flying a winner out to CEDIA for 2 days. He's putting them up in a hotel, VIP access to some of the really amazing rooms that are on the show floor. And plus, I'll take you all around the show floor and introduce you to some people that you want to meet. Sounds like quite an opportunity.
Yes, indeed. It's going to be fabulous for somebody.
Yeah. I know we have some members that are.
It's not a cheap trip either, you know. I mean, that's an expensive trip.
Yeah, he's footing the bill
on it. I know.
Yeah, he's footing the bill for the whole thing, and it's part of his Factnatics YouTube effort here. So FAQNATICS Factnatics. So check it out on YouTube, or you can go over to our homepage and there you'll see a story about it right there. And I think you have one more day to get some entries in for that. So hopefully someone from our AV Nirvana crew is going to win.
That would be nice.
It would.
Nice. Yeah.
Also, we have a new home theater news review podcast that's going to be coming out hopefully in the next few hours. I'm about half done editing. So this week's episode is going to go live, and we talk a lot about what's happening at CEDIA, plus some other really fun news stories. One that we did not cover on our homepage with just video walls. They have some pretty awesome stuff that they're pulling together and launching at CEDIA. So something you definitely want to check out if you're interested at all in the giant micro LED TV walls, which everybody is all the rage about. And I know we're going to be talking about that with StormAudio in just a minute. So definitely something to check out. But do you want to tell us a little bit about who we have here today, Sonny?
Well, Gary Blouse from StormAudio. They're going to talk about some of the rooms that they have at CEDIA. A couple of the more, I guess you say, the nicer rooms they're going to have. And Joy Peacock from MadVR. He's going to join us when Gary brings up the, I believe it's room 7.
Sound room 7.
SR7. So where they'll have, be working with StormAudio together in that room. And I think Doug, I guess, with JL Audio, is that correct?
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah. And I didn't get a chance to talk to him beforehand, so hadn't met him yet. But I guess they're all setting up in that same room. And sounds like it's going to be a blast. My thing is I hate that I'm going to miss it. I keep missing these good things. It just snuck up on me. I guess I should have thought about it about 2 weeks ago.
Next year
plans, and next year I'm set my calendar already. Next year I'm going to be there. So
would love to have you come there. It's a lot of fun. Awesome. Well, let's bring on a great friend of mine and good friend of the AV Nirvana community, Gary Blouse. Gary, how's it going?
It's going good, Todd. How are you?
Cannot wait to get boots on the ground out there in Denver. I know you probably can't wait either, right?
Yeah, we're excited now. There's been a bunch of planning and meetings and meetings and meetings and meetings. But now we're done with the meetings. We're ready to execute. So it's going to be some pretty cool stuff that everybody's going to see this year.
Time for fun, right?
Finally.
And you guys are putting on a much bigger showcase demo-wise this year than years past, it sounds like.
It's funny. We over the last few years, we've been growing the amount of demos that we do every year at CEDIA. And last year we did 7, and we decided right at the end of the show, we said we'll never do 7 again. So we're doing 8 this year. So, but I'm excited.
That's awesome.
The best thing to say about the demos that are being shown this year is it's a very diverse set of solutions. Keep in mind that most of the dealers that attend CEDIA are looking for that new solution that they can offer their clients. And really, when it comes to, you mentioned micro LED walls, there's you want to hear the solutions that are available for that. So that's one of the things I think that you'll see in all of the sound rooms, at least we're involved in, is you'll see this nice diversity of demos that really, offer different solution sets for customers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you getting the feeling that micro LED walls are really going to take over as we go forward over the next 3 or 4 years?
I think that in some instances, yes. I think especially at the high end part of the market, they're going to take over, just because there's there's really not limits on what you can do projected image wise these days. But it's really sky's the limit on the video walls. If you got the dollars, you can make them as big as you want. Yeah. So that's one thing to say about that. I think that as the price comes down, the adoption will go up. We'll see what happens kind of in the mid portion of the market once that happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just out of curiosity, last year, did you have a chance to get down and check out Quantum Media Systems?
I did not last year. Unfortunately, I never got out of the booth ever. I was literally stuck there the entire time. I think I saw one other demo and that was it. So no, I didn't get to see it. Now, that being said, I've seen quantum media displays other places, and it's impressive technology. It really is. They're pushing the boundaries on what the technology can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most certainly. Yeah, that was eye-opening to me to see what they had last year. By far the best video wall system I've ever seen. Seamless, literally seamless and massive, and just wow, just really amazing stuff.
Yep, and that is one of our partners this year. We have a demo with them as well as others. So I tell you what, I do have a presentation. You want to share the screen and get that going?
Definitely.
Okay, hang on. Let me make sure I've got it set up on my end. Hold on. All right, are we seeing everything live?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So basically, there are, first off, one of the things I want to kind of applaud CEDIA on and Emerald is that that for the last few years, the sound rooms have always been kind of stuck in the back of the exhibit hall, and this year they're kind of more front and center. What I mean by that is when you walk in on the right hand side, one of the main entrances. The sound rooms will be all to the right of that entrance point. Mm-hmm. There are 7 sound rooms. I mean, again, don't pay attention to the numbering because it seems to be off. They've got start on SR2 and go up to SR9, but there's 7 rooms that are currently slated, and of the seven demo rooms, we're in 4 of them. Okay, we're in the Sendo SR3 or Sound Room 3 demo. We're in the Seymour Screen Excellence Sound Room 4 demo. We're in the Alcon's Audio SR5 demo, and we're also in a demo that we put together in Sound Room 7, which is SR7. And we're also, as you can see on the map, in the L Acoustics booth that's right adjacent to all of those sound rooms. Yep. So one of the things I would say is if you get into the sound room area, you're pretty much going to see a bunch of different StormAudio options that'll be presented in everything from our receiver all the way to the Evos to the Elite processors, everything. So. And then we also have some active displays that are with Barco and TPI in their booth. We've got Pro Audio and Theory Audio. They're doing a high performance audio room downstairs. Mm-hmm. And Quantum Media Systems, like we just talked about, and TPI are doing a high performance audio room downstairs as well. Okay. And then we'll be meeting people in our static display booth area in 4409, which is again just adjacent to the demo rooms. So let me talk a little bit about Sound Room 7. Why don't we start? Do you want to introduce the other partners that are on
Yeah,
the
sure.
call?
Let's bring them on. Here we have Joey Peacock with MadVR Labs and Doug Henderson with JL Audio. He made it. How are you doing, Doug?
Got his microphone muted.
Oh. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. There we go, Doug. How are you?
Good,
Now we
good,
can
good.
hear you.
Took a little extra effort to outsmart the IT folks, but I managed to do it.
Fantastic.
Glad to
Okay,
have
we've
you with
got
us,
on the
Doug.
call.
Yeah.
All right, Gary.
Guys. Yeah, I just was going to say on the call with us is Joey Peacock from MadVR and Doug Henderson from JL Audio. And these are two of the other partners that are in Sound Room 7. We also have Panamorph and Christy and Seymour Screen Excellence on the video side with MadVR. JL Audio, of course, with StormAudio and PMC Speakers doing the audio portion of the system. Just to kind of lay a little groundwork about what we were trying to do with this room, we really didn't want to do the $1 million theater, because that's, there's a bunch of places on the floor that you can see that kind of system. So we were trying to do something a little more modest as far as the price point. And this is also we wanted to do something less than, these ginormous channel counts. So this one's a 7.8.4 media room design. We'll have more of a media room look to it. It's based around our ISR Fusion 20 receiver. And then we've got, of course, we'll be using direct live with active room treatment for the calibration portion of this.
Awesome.
The partners are showing, Doug, why don't you talk about some of the speakers that you guys are going to be introducing actually at CEDIA for the first time?
Yeah, well, first, let me give you and your team props for pulling all of this together, Gary. It's a tremendous amount of work, and you have to be very detailed focused to keep the train moving in the right direction. And your crew did a great job. I'm sure it's going to be a fabulous demonstration. So we're excited to be part of it, and grateful that we were asked. So early this summer, we launched a new range of subwoofers called CTS, Custom Theater Subwoofers, designed for built-in applications where you've got a dedicated room, and rather than being in the wall or in the room, you're going to frame out the room appropriately and build the subs in either behind fabric walls or a transparent screen or millwork, or a combination of those aspects. One of the subwoofers is actually flat. I call it the pizza box, and it could be located underneath seating risers. So the point of the CTS range is to provide a number of new solutions within the JL Audio subwoofer lineup. Obviously, we still have the others, and you can mix and match them as you wish. Mm-hmm. But for Sound Room 7, it's going to be all CTS with 4 213s, which means 2 13-inch drivers apiece. There'll be 4 of those on the front wall, and then 4 113s, 13-inch drivers on the back wall, driven by 2,000-watt amplifiers.
Okay.
So we hope to really deliver the low end in a way that's impressive to one and all.
Wow, that sounds really awesome.
Just to talk a little. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I just was going to say, for one thing to mention is we do a good amount of calibrations in the field, and we see a good amount of JL Audio subs in those calibrations. Mm-hmm. But we're happy to see these larger enclosures, because you get a lot more output out of the subwoofer, and usually a lot deeper output with more airspace. So yeah, this is all good news. It should sound very good in the room.
How large is this room?
This room is 16 by 24 by about 10.5 as far as the ceiling.
That's pretty, pretty good room. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing to say about the rooms is they're kind of cardboard boxes. So, if you're looking at the amount of subwoofers we have in there, this is mostly because that's really the only way they're going to get any kind of pressurization in the room, is to kind of over pressurize it. That's the reason for doing as many of the subs as we're doing.
I hear you.
Yeah, I was going to add the room size.
Room.
Yeah, the room size is actually the hall size.
Right, exactly.
Pretty much.
Do you do any sort of modeling to figure out what you need in there, or is it kind of guesswork until you get in there for calibration?
I've got up our engineering drawings right now on the screen. So, and these, really, as Doug said, it's all about the details. So we really do model a little bit the low frequency portion of the system to make sure that we feel it's going to be appropriate and not interfere too much by presenting really bad, nulls in seating areas. But also with the tools that we have in our processors these days, it really becomes kind of a moot point because we really can control the room, with active, especially with active room treatment in a way that is very profound. That is one of the things that we're doing in this system is you'll notice that in addition to the subs, we have the PMC CI 140 speakers, and you'll notice that the base layer, in the front left and right and center, the side channels and the rear channels are all the same speakers. And this is part of their custom install line. The speaker is what is unique in that they use a little different technology. It's transmission line technology on the woofer section. And the speakers offer a ton of bass output. They're flat all the way to 32 hertz.
Wow.
So what we're going to really be able to do is really kind of maximize what active room treatment can do in this kind of environment because we have a lot of horsepower in the speakers, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, for sure. And that drawing right there, is that Doug, representative of the cabinet depths for the subs?
It is. These particular enclosures are 9 inches deep. They're all 14 inches wide, but one, because that allows them to squeeze between standard stud spacing if that's desired. But yeah, these are 14 inches deep. So they should
like the shallow mount subwoofers.
Yeah, there are a couple of models in this series that are shallower even than these that are meant to be flushed into a 2x6 stud wall. And then, of course, we have in-wall solutions that go into a standard 2x4 stud bay as well. But these particular ones, again, share that 14-inch width and then are 9 inches deep. So they'll be stable sitting on the floor as they're positioned.
And how many seats or how many people do you, I'm assuming you're demoing, Gary, you demo this room and do the demos and you just allow so many people in each time, or how does that work?
That's correct. Yeah, we're going to have 3 love seats in there. We didn't add that to the render yet, so my apologies for that. But it will be able to seat 12 people pretty comfortably. And the plan is to we'll be running, I hope, about 4 of these demos an hour. And basically, we do a scripted demo. We basically curate the demo as a group. We come up with exact clips we want. We usually start with music and kind of build into the movie content. But we'll also have a video introducing all of the brands and kind of what people are going to see before things get started. And so, yeah, that's really how we usually do most of our demos is, again, we try to make it so that, people can just sit down and listen and get going with the rest of their day because, as Todd, as there's a lot to see on the CEDIA floor.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I know you guys are going to have a line also. I'm sure people are going to line up and wait for 30, 45 minutes sometimes to get in.
Wow. Yeah.
Yep. Hey, Doug, real quick, can you talk about some of the difficulties in building these shallow subs? I mean, I'm sure there's a give and take in terms of output when you start dealing with a cabinet like that. What are the workarounds?
Well, the biggest difficulty is having a driver that can produce the output that can be made very shallow. And the driver that's in these particular systems is also shared with our in-wall, larger in-wall system. And it's a little over 2.5 inches deep. So yet it's got over 2 inches of travel. It's a remarkable driver, actually. Someone called it the world's largest tweeter because it's kind of built like a tweeter. Our expertise in car audio pointed us in the direction of flat subwoofers, although this particular driver was developed for the home audio market, for the residential market. It's also used in car audio applications and marine applications. So, it's about having a high power driver, big magnet structure, big motor, large voice coil that can absorb a lot of heat and X-Max or excursion capability. And then you set the box volume appropriately. So again, this driver is just a kind of a brilliant work of art in its own right, and has found its way into numerous applications as a result. This particular one, CTS, was a logical extension of our in-wall applications, because we had a lot of dealers asking for a solution that could be built in that wasn't an in-wall, but had the same capabilities as our in-wall 13-inch system, which a little bit of bragging, was actually named Subwoofer of the Year by the Absolute Sound magazine in 2020. Not in-wall Subwoofer of the Year, just Subwoofer of the Year.
Wow.
From a prestigious high-end stereo publication. So these are serious woofers. They're not compromised in any way.
I can tell you, I've had I probably had 4 or 5 versions of the JL Audio Stealth subwoofers
Stealth
in
box.
my crew cab trucks, various crew cab trucks, Ram, Ford. They are incredible. I mean, they dig deep, pound hard, and will play loud without any distortion. They're incredible. So I can imagine if y'all have implemented that sort of technology into home, it's going to be good. Yeah.
Well, and we have, and thank you for that, Sonny. We have more volume that we can play with, of course, on the home audio side. It's really difficult to get the performance you're describing in a very small enclosure like a stealth box, but we manage that feat. So yeah, these are really remarkable systems. As I say, there's no compromise about them.
I cannot wait to hear. Gary, can you give us a little teaser of what kind of bass heavy demo material we're going to experience?
Not yet.
Not to put you on the
I don't wanna
spot.
let that cat out of the bag.
Okay.
Yeah, and only because let me just say this. We all have our favorite demos. And I'm sure that you've talked about them on the side a bunch. But we're always looking for new stuff, new content. So we're going to be auditioning some new content while we're there. So I don't know exactly what the script is yet. We haven't decided that.
Awesome.
So that'll kind of come together as we finalize the calibration in the room.
Really looking forward to that. So let's switch over to the video side of things, Gary. What's going to be happening in the room in that regard?
So we're doing a fixed Seymour screen. This is a 165-inch wide screen. We will have a Christie projector that will be mounted in the ceiling, hanging from a bracket. On the projector is one of Panamorph's anamorphic lenses.
Ooh.
And then, of course, our video source will be a K-scape, and then we'll be using the MadVR video processor to manage all of the intricacies of the video side of things.
Right. So Joey, that brings you onto the hot seat. MadVR. Are we going to see the core operating in this room, or are you guys going with the Envy?
Yeah, that's a great question. And we are also very excited to be partnered with this team here for Sound Room 7. It's going to be a incredible demo. And you guys were saying a minute ago that the line would be 15 or 30 minutes long. I'm predicting it's going to be longer than that. It's like Gary said, there's $1 million theaters demos throughout this. And for this one to be an actual affordable one that somebody can aspire to is very exciting. And that brings me to our newest product, the MadVR Envy Core, that we just released like less than a month ago. July 31st was when we announced this to the globe. We've been working on this for a while. Like Gary with the high-end Storm processors, these are usually partnered together in projects and stuff, and higher-end projects. And we've had a continual request from our enthusiasts about, bringing one out that was more affordable with the features that they were looking for. So that's how the Core came out and came about. And so that is what we're going to be showing here. And it is going to be incredible in this setup. I mean, the features that we have in the core are our core or hero features that are in the Envy Extreme, which is our high-end model. It's not like we took features from that model and scaled them down and put it in the core. It's the exact same features. So the HDR dynamic tone mapping that we're known for is just going to be incredible on this. Aspect ratio control, nonlinear stretch technology that we have. And the other features that are in the core that dealers really, really enjoy are our is the ability to have remote access to really quickly help clients out. Our IP, IR, RF control features that we provide dealers. Our IP firmware updates are crazy, insane, easy, and super fast. And our menu system is just incredibly intuitive. We recently also released our MadVR online training academy. So that has been really popular. A lot of people, and including end users, we made that available for not only dealers but for end users alike. And there was a lot of time spent on producing those training videos. So that's really exciting for us too. And we've publicly announced that, but we're going to be showing our dealers all of this at this show, and the folks that are coming to Sound Room 7 are going to be able to see that Envy core doing magic with that video part of that system.
That's really awesome. And I know, Joey, that you received your Academy certificate because you posted a picture of it on LinkedIn, and I saw that and it made me chuckle because some people were saying, "Hey, congratulations!"
That's right. And I am going to brag a little bit. I have the very first certification of any
right.
Yeah.
Joey, tell me something. How do you improve on a Christie projector?
Well, the cool thing about the great thing about our MadVR Envy is we can help virtually any display look better. It's not that the displays aren't capable of painting a great picture. They are. They paint a great picture. We just make sure that the content that they're receiving, our motto is every pixel counts, and that's what an Envy is doing. It's looking at every pixel of every frame and making sure that pixel is perfect for the display that it's partnered with.
So this is not just for projection systems, it's also for displays as well.
Absolutely. You guys were talking about earlier on this presentation about micro LED walls. At the show, we're in a lot, like Gary said. Okay. We were at a lot of places last year. We're at a lot more places this year in the show. But companies, we're partnered this year with Planar, LG, Just Video Walls, Barco, just to name a few. But yes, those video walls need some great support too, and manufacturers love us because they know that we really help their displays show off to the ultimate, because the content that the display is receiving is working perfectly for that display.
I don't believe you'd be in their room unless they thought it was an improvement. So
thank you. Yes, we agree.
Well, also, Sonny, and Joey, you're gonna have to correct me if I botch this, but the processing that you would find even in a really good television doesn't go down to the pixel level necessarily, correct? I mean, that's what MadVR really specializes in. The processing power in the MadVR is capable of not just I'll just let you go ahead and take over on that.
Well, it's
before I get myself into trouble here.
It's a combination of the processing power that we bring to the table and also our secret sauce in our software. It's the combination of that's what makes the magic.
Yeah. So I don't need to shut the door on my 98-inch Sony display in my AV room, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, if you come by, we're in booth 2938, and you'll see us on a 97-inch OLED. And a lot of times we'll see in like some of the forums and stuff, somebody, or even the inquiries that come into us from end users. Sometimes they'll mention, well, I don't have a projector. And my response is, if you go look at any of our hundreds of videos that where influencers have interviewed us, or we've done some stuff. 99% of the time, you're going to see us demoing our features on a large flat screen TV.
Mm-hmm.
And we were at a recent show with Gary recently, and we were on a 97-inch big OLED outside, and people would walk by and look, and they'd say, "Oh, I've got that same TV," and then they'd almost stop in their tracks, and they'd say, "It's never looked that good before. What's going on here?" And we would show them, here's our HDR dynamic tone mapping and our aspect ratio control, our nonlinear stretch, because all of this works regardless of the format of your, the aspect ratio of your TV, whether it's 16:9, 235, or whatever. A lot of these new micro LED walls are doing like 21:9 aspect ratios. So we bring the magic to it all.
Jerry, real
Looking
quick.
forward to researching it more. So yeah. You give me something to do.
Okay.
Before we move on, I just a question for you. We've got a lot of what I would assume enthusiasts watching right now. For the enthusiast crowd out there, if they were to bring the core into their home, is it something that they can watch, these Academy videos and get set up on their own, or do they need to have a calibrator come into their home to really take advantage of what it can do?
That's a really great question. I would say that they could watch all of the videos and they would have a pretty decent understanding of what's going on. I would say that they're going to have the best results if they have one of our trained dealers work with them to get that done. And then if they want to do the ultimate, they could bring a calibrator in. All of our units, including the core, we have the highest LUTs for calibrations of any product that's out there. I mean, our 1D LUTs are 4,096, and our 3D LUTs are 256 cubes, so 16.7 million points. And that's even in the core that they can do this stuff with. So
wow.
It just depends on, I would say, that their skill level and their budget.
Awesome. Yeah, great product. I'm really excited to see it in person.
Yep.
Just out of curiosity, also one more question for you. What pushed you guys to go for creating something at a lower price point? Were you getting a lot of demand from dealers, or is it just a niche that you all saw and wanted to fill?
It was actually both. A lot of our the enthusiasts that love our product and stuff wanted the product, but the price point for the Pro and the Extreme was more than their budget would allow. There was a lot of dealers that see us at shows and at some of the regional events that we do around the globe. They were looking at us, but they don't do like these super big $1 million projects. So the core maybe wasn't the Extreme maybe wasn't the project for them. So it was more of a need for a price point that met this. But I will say this: a lot of our bigger dealers, their thought process now is, they're still going to stick an Extreme in the main theater, the big media room, and they're going to add the cores throughout the home on the larger flat screen TVs. Yeah, so it was a multiple of requests coming in from a lot of different directions.
Awesome. Fantastic. Gary, do you have anything more you'd like to talk about Sound Room 7?
I think that's it. I mean, we'll have other, we'll have acoustic treatment partners again, involved in the room. Simplified Acoustics is going to provide that. We've got partners that will be providing cables and things like that. Then we'll call all of our partners out. But yeah, that's pretty much all the basics about SR7.
Okay, awesome. Well, Doug, you weren't behind the scenes before the show, but we had talked to Joey about we're going to pull you guys offline now.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for taking some time to come on and chat. And I look forward to meeting you out in Denver.
Likewise.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you guys soon.
All right, guys.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So
All
I guess
right.
let's move on to sound room 4 now.
Okay.
Sound room 4 is a completely different look and feel. The first off, the speaker layout is an incredibly big one. It's the biggest one we've ever done on the show floor. It's a 13.12.10 system, and I would refer to this as a reference cinema system. The price tag for all of the products that are going to be involved in this demo is in excess of $1 billion. So this is definitely going to be pushing the limit on technology, and performance of what theaters can do. So yeah, I'm very excited about this room as well. I mean, from a completely different perspective, just because we've never kind of pushed the limits this way before in a sound room.
Fantastic. And by the way, this is the sound room that Brett Bjorkquist is taking over with his giveaway, I believe, correct?
That's correct. That is correct.
All right, folks.
Yeah.
So
so if you're out there watching this, this is the one that you are going to get to experience after hours with all sorts of demo material that we're going to handpick. So a little incentive.
It'll be a lot of fun.
13, 12,
a couple
10.
of things to mention about the room. Go ahead, Sonny. I'm sorry.
I was just saying 13, 12, 10. That's incredible. I mean, is that Atmos, RO, or a combination, or what is that?
This will be an Atmos layout, and keep in mind that Atmos has I think many people are familiar with this with the 512 and the 714 and a 916 layout. But Atmos also, they also provide for higher channel counts. 11, they do an 11.8.10 or 11.1.8, and they also do a 13.110 layout. So this is kind of the limit, I think, of the residential portion of what Atmos can do. Is that it was a 13.1.10 or 13.12.10 in this configuration.
Yeah, I have a 9.8.6. I didn't know that you could do more than 6 up. I mean, I guess I'm missing something. Just making me do more research and spend more money. I tell you.
One thing to say about this room is, we wanted to have, a real theater experience. And the demo rooms that CEDIA, puts together for the show are normally 16 feet wide by 24 feet long. And 24 feet long is really not enough to do 3 rows of seating. It's about a 2 row of seating kind of size. So we asked CEDIA if they would, and Freeman, if they would allow us to extend the room to make it longer, and they said yes. So this sound room will be, when you get to the sound room row, you'll notice this one will stick out like a sore thumb because it will literally be, 8 feet longer than the rest of the rooms.
Wow.
But by doing this, it allows us to really provide this experience. And I've got it, the rendered up now on screen for everyone. Yep. So a couple of things to mention. First off, I'll talk about all of the speakers in a minute. But let's talk about video first. You'll notice the screen pretty much occupies the whole front of the wall. Okay, this is Seymour Screen Excellence's Enlighter Pro material. This is their professional material that they'll be displaying on this 4-way masking screen. So we'll be showing a bunch of different aspect ratio content in this room, whereas we're going to stay to more of a widescreen and cinemascope, material on the other room. The other thing you'll notice is that, again, we've got risers just like a movie theater. And we've got 3 rows of seating. I got to tell you, there's some things that don't get me excited most of the time, and seating is usually one of them. But I'm really excited about these seats because this is a new manufacturer out of Germany called Movia. And what's really unique about these seats is they offer, I think, a different level of comfort than maybe the U.S. crowd has seen before from some of the other seating manufacturers. The Movia seats also offer a greater amount of technology built into the seats. And I don't want to go into too much depth there because I'm not an expert on it. Just like Todd kind of bailed on the video processor
Hey
stuff.
now.
So, well, I'm just calling the way I see it. So I'm going to bail on the rest of that. But I think everybody will be surprised by the seating aspect of it. Let me now talk about the audio system. Okay.
Okay.
So let's start with the front channels, because this is as you can see, we have big arrays of subwoofers in the corners. And then we've got these very large front channels that will be hidden behind the screen. And this is of course, we're dealing with a Sendo audio here. Sendo makes a bunch of different ranges of their speakers, but their Black Swan speakers are their top of the line. And this will be the first time that they've ever displayed them at a CEDIA show. So again, this is pretty impressive stuff. Yeah. And as you can see, then you have all of the other accompanying speaker system to go with it. One of the subwoofer, the subwoofers that you see are another product that they're introducing. This is a new subwoofer from them. And, Todd, I know that you've had some interactions with their infrasonic subs. I think you still have even one in your theater. Is that correct?
Still do. Yep. 32 inch.
So yeah, and they've kind of one thing to say about this company is they've really kind of pushed the limits on bass technology. I think as far as what what state of the art is, and paying attention to the kind of both ends of the spectrum of sound for subwoofers, which is kick subs and the infrasonic subs. This will be a new product that does both in one driver. So again, we're excited to be able to see how this is going to pan out in this room. So again, amazing speaker system, big speaker layout, 3 rows of seating. We'll have another Christie projector in here. This will be one of the big horsepower projectors from them. Again, MadVR Envy, at Mark II. Kaleidoscape will be the source. The audio system is we're referring to as a hybrid audio over IP, and what we mean by that is it's got a segment of it that's audio over IP. That'll be the subs and the front channels, and then the other channels are all going to be analog outs into our amplifiers. Oh wow! So basically, you have digital and analog that's been being demonstrated simultaneously in the single room.
Are you guys finding more and more installers wanting to go digital? I know it's been a big push.
I would say that when we introduced the Evo, we were seeing a good amount of systems out of the gate, but now I would say 20 or 30% of our sales are an Evo or an Evo products or one of our audio over IP products from in the Elite line. So we're seeing much more of that business, and it's growing. I mean, there's all of these different speaker companies, as getting into that part of the business, either having Dante or AES67 as an input on their amplifiers.
Really awesome. I mean, just looking at this room, it's going to be fabulous. And those Black Swans, not only is that just a killer name for a speaker, I don't know about you, I'm a total sucker for StormAudio is another one. Just such a great name. It just has so much power behind it. But Black Swan is just mysterious. And boy, I've heard those speakers in a home theater setting, and they're amazing.
Very cool. So again, that is Sound Room 4. Let me come back to the partners. And we're pretty excited. This is going to be, I think, it's going to be. Let me just say this, Todd. If I say I'm doing 9 demos next year, please tell me I'm crazy. I'm hoping we don't do any more than this ever again. But that being said, I'm also excited about the different kinds of demos that are out there. I mean, again, let me also point out that L Acoustics and Pro Audio, Theory Audio, our friends over at Alcons, all of these are going to be amazing demos that are using our processors. So we're really excited about what CEDIA is going to offer this year.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I can't wait to hear the Theory Audio one also. I mean, last year was one of my favorites, and I have a feeling they're going to put on quite a show this year.
They normally do, and they've got some new impressive products they've just introduced. So I think you're going to have a good time in their room.
Yeah, for sure. And I noticed right there under Sound Room 4, Lumigen. Does this room have Lumigen in it or MadVR?
No, this room does have Lumigen. So we're doing MadVR and SR7, and we're doing Lumigen here. And Lumigen has been working with Seymour Screen Excellence and their cues from the Lumigen will actually trigger the aspect ratio changes in the screen. So,
wow.
That's another thing that we're going to be showcasing in this room is that interaction between the devices.
Wow, very cool. And what size screen is this again?
That don't, yeah. I want to. Can I boot that one too? Is a question that I probably don't know the answer to.
It's going to be big. I mean, we're talking probably about 16 feet wide, or
well, what's the room width?
The room width is 16 feet, so it should be roughly pretty close to that. I mean, I think it's a little less than that.
A little less. Less, and then it's TAM, correct? It will have masking on all sides.
Four-way masking on all sides. You got it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And is that masking? Is that Seymour? Is that what they include with their screen now? Is it all electronic?
Well,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not all of their screens have it.
That's correct. You can get it or not, and even make masking devices that can be added on to other screens. So, but this one is kind of this is definitely the best that they offer, in screen technology, not only for the material itself, but also for the masking system itself.
Correct. Gotcha. Yeah, and the material that they put on this screen, the Enlighter Neo, is installed in lots of Hollywood elite. We're talking about directors and producers and things like that. They have these in their own personal home theaters. So it's pretty awesome stuff. It's spectacular, Sonny. It's not perforated, but it's acoustically transparent. And it really, Gary, you have to correct me on this, but it only knocks like, I'm not even sure if it's a decibel. Correct.
It's a very small amount. I mean, we've done we do calibrations with a bunch of the screen manufacturers, but when you measure a Seymour one, they really don't impact the sound at all. It's virtually non-existent. So that's one of the reasons we like them as a partner. We want a good screen that's going to look great, but from an audio perspective, especially with a woven screen, we want it just to not touch the sound at all or very little.
So when you have those big woofers. Or maybe or the big woofers in those swans behind that screen, does it not cause the screen to move some? I mean,
we have enough tensioning the screen where that won't happen, and then in addition to that, there's room around the screen and between the screen and the drivers. Okay. So yeah, all of that's kind of taken into account in the design.
Okay, gotcha.
Fantastic. Super exciting stuff. So when do you have to land in Denver and get busy putting this together?
I will be there this Saturday. So we start on Saturday, and we've got a lot to build up in the next beginning of the week. So, but yeah, we're landing all on. Most of the team is landing Saturday. The French contingent is getting there Monday. But we'll be hard at work starting Saturday afternoon, making these rooms a reality.
And I know last year I was on the floor the day before, and it seemed like a mad dash for everybody. Everybody's there trying to get final touches put on things. Are you guys getting the feeling like that's going to be you again this year? Or are you?
We're really hoping not, quite honestly, because unfortunately, sometimes there's things that are outside your control with these rooms. That will delay things, and when that happens, all you can do is kind of roll up your sleeves and make it happen. And what we over the last couple of years, I think we've ended up being on that first day. I'm really glad, Todd, that you didn't come by on the first day of this last year, because I was dead. I was exhausted. Like, I mean,
I've heard a lot of folks. Yeah.
It's true about, I think, a lot of companies. I mean, we all put a lot of effort into this show, and it's hours and hours and hours to build these things up. It's funny. It's days to build them up and hours to break them down. So it's interesting how that pans out. But we are excited about this. It's going to be a lot of build work, but We're ready for it. You know, we're by the way, we're coming out a day earlier this year, just
Okay.
because of the amount we have to do.
Trying to make sure. Yep.
CEDIA, this is like the biggest show that you do. I mean, this is
This one and ISE, you know, in Barcelona. So we do both of those shows, and I think those are the two big ones. But at least for the U.S. dealers, this is the big show. You know, and we want to make sure we showcase as many things as we can at the show.
Yeah, and Sonny, what Gary was referring to last year, I had booked a time slot with Gary on day one, correct? And I didn't show. I think I
didn't show, but that's good.
I think I ended up double booking, and I hadn't noted it. You know, I hadn't noted your slot down there, and I just booked over it. And then on the last day, I like sheepishly came up to the Storm booth and just apologized. I felt so bad because I kept looking through my notes on that last day, and I'm like, I know I had StormAudio on there. And then I went back in the email and I saw our exchange, and I was like, oh boy, this is embarrassing. But it actually ended up working out really well, as you said.
No, it's perfect. Actually, I think the time frame that you came by, it wasn't like a bunch of traffic, so we were able to talk for a little bit.
Yeah, it was the last day. I see right here though, I have you down for 2 p.m. on Thursday, so
we'll make it work.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing you there.
And Sonny, you got to come out next year. You're missing out.
I plan on it. I mean, look, if I could figure out some way to get out there this year, I mean, I would, but you know, it's one of them things. I wait around to the last minute and then mess up, you know.
Understood.
But, I mean, I know it's going to be exciting, and all these rooms. I mean, hey, I can't. It's just, it's Nirvana for somebody, right?
Yeah, it really is like a Disneyland Playland experience for the real AV enthusiast and
now,
all of us. And I would assume, Gary, most people there are enthusiasts at heart, at least 80%.
I would say so. I mean, I think that there's different passions in the industry, but I think all of us are, have that passion, about different stuff. So, but, definitely on the movie and cinema side and music, I mean, there's a lot of that there. I mean, I think all of us kind of come from the audio and video background, and then maybe get into other things. But again, it should be a very good show. I mean, this is, I think that there is a lot of positive things going on in the industry, and it's all good for business. But, again, you always want to keep up to date on what the solutions are that are available, and technology is changing. I mean, we talked about that before this call started. Mm-hmm. I mean, it all is, what usually would take, 10 years to become a commoditized product takes a year or 6 months, because that's the way the technology end of it works. But, the good news is that technology keeps moving forward, and, we keep, especially on the audio side, we keep pushing what we can do with the technology. So
yeah, we certainly love what you guys have accomplished. Sonny and I are both Storm users, and I just love the product. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, I can't say enough about it. Good. I mean, it's changed my whole system. That's for sure.
I told you.
Now, Todd hasn't had the experience with art that I have, but I plugged up art. I had a little issue with my processor and had to get it swapped out, and so I had to plug my HTTP1 back in with nothing more than DLBC, and I was like, wow, the difference. I mean, I could not get my room to sound right. It just, after listening to Direct Live Art, you go back to bass control, it's not the same. Yeah. And I was happy to get it back in and get it set up, and I have probably run, I don't know, 11 different, changes to it over the last 6 months or so. Just keep fine tuning it and keep amazing myself at how good it sounds. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
We like to hear that. And active room treatment is just, it's a game changer. I mean, and it's, the thing I would say is this, people, you don't realize what you're missing with your bass until you hear it without all of that coloration and that's involved. And it's pretty profound. Like you just said, it's a night and day difference. Everyone, that's why I like to tell, we do these end user shows in particular. We tell our customers, that, everyone can hear the difference. This isn't like, you have to be cultured and, you have to have a good taste or, have to get a good, set of the ears. No, everyone can hear the difference in what active room treatment does. It's very, very profound.
I see a question here from Daryl that I'm interested in myself.
Yep.
Remapping. Is that going to be something you guys are going to eventually have?
We've looked at it, and what I would say is this: it's something that we've already started working towards. But that being said, I think that where it's going to play out and really make the biggest difference is going to be in how we deal with micro LED walls in the future, quite honestly. And that's where I think, that's the things I think you'll see initially from us is some new features that'll come out in the next release that will address, lifting the center channel so that way, if the center is below the screen, you can actually, it still sounds like all of the dialogue's coming from the screen.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's, definitely, I can't speak to a timeline or any of that stuff just because, again, it's not far enough along.
Gotcha.
Awesome. Something to look forward to, Daryl.
Yeah.
I know, I'm sure there's all kinds of goodies floating around in StormAudio's collective brain.
And as you guys know, I mean, the best part of a Storm product is that they change. It's not a static piece. It evolves as we develop new software and new calibration tools. All you do is a firmware update, and now you've got all that new technology. So it's not, you're not buying a piece of technology that gets outdated, quickly, which I think is amazing. That's one of the things I love. That's the best part of the StormAudio story is that you have a product that not only can progress hardware wise, but it can, progresses in firmware as well over the life of the product.
Yeah, that's well said. I mean, expensive up front, but you get what you pay for over the life of the product, for sure.
I agree
That's
with
correct.
that. Yeah, most definitely.
Awesome. All right. Well, we have hit 1 hour, and Sonny, we're going to pull the plug today at 1 hour so we don't go on for 2 hours. I know Gary probably has a lot to do today. He's got short time before the show. So Gary, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Gary. Yes.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys, for having us. We really appreciate it, and look forward to seeing Todd you on the floor on Sunday or Saturday, whenever you said. I think you said Thursday, but I'll expect you on Saturday.
Yep. No, I'll be there. I will definitely be there on Thursday, but I'll see you again on Friday morning for the media event at 8.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So
I'll see you there. I'll be there.
You'll see me twice.
All right. Awesome, guys. Thank you again for hosting us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Awesome.
Care,
Thank you so much. All right,
Sonny.
I'll see you soon. And I'm not sure when our next show is, but we'll have something cooking up soon.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Thanks, everyone, for joining us.
Take care.
If you enjoy content like this, hit like, subscribe, and